Hi Leo, thank you so much for tuning in. This is a reading for end of September. So let's see what cards will come out and what I can see in them. Oh, all right, so first one that flipped, Eight of Swords. Let's see how that will be in context to... Okay. So Eight of Swords, oh, this one wants to come out. Another sword, Ten of Swords. So I'm going to put them in order actually, and then I guess I'll... So swords, automatically, first thing that comes to my mind, Leo, you're thinking a lot. You need to shut off those thoughts. And not just the bad thoughts. It seems like sometimes you can look at things as very black and white, either or. Oh, all right. Being a perfectionist, shut off all thoughts, even the positive ones, to be quiet and in stillness. Let's see. All right. I forgot the name of this one. Please forgive me, guys, but I know what it means. So let me just... I haven't been reading for a while, so I do forget some of the names. I'm sorry. This is number 18. The Moon. There we go. The Moon. Thank you. The Moon. Okay, so this is the only one that came face up. I'm going to take into consideration the Tower. Ooh. Okay, Leo. This may not apply to all of you, but this is really, really awesome. Okay. Oh, this is so great. I'm so excited. Okay, let's see what other two come up. Oh, okay, that was fast. So this one flew up first, Temperance. And then this one, Six of Cups. Okay. I'm going to read them in order as they flew out. You know what it's like to be here. You've been here. You've been... Oh, so the light's not bothering you. You've been plagued by insecurities before. You know what it's like to be trapped in your fears, to be in denial. You know this, you have been there, okay? And it looks like the battle, to an extent, is over. Some battle is over, some phase is done, okay, with this. So you've been here, you know what that's like, and it's like it's over, or it will be over. You're pulling out the knives, you know the battle has been fought. Okay, Leo, this is the part where, you know, the universe is going to make you work. Now, yes, the battle is over. You are no longer here, okay, or you're coming out of here. However, and, you know, you may not like this because you want to rest, but you're lions, so that, you know, what this card tells me, now it's time to do even more shadow work. And, you know, sometimes it's just like, I just went through so much. I don't want more. Where is my resting period? Well, I don't see one here, to be honest. Right now, you're gonna have to do more shadow work, dive a little deeper into darker corners, because this, I mean, if you look at it, she's outside, she's in the mountains. I mean, she's bound, but she's not getting cut by the swords around her. She's just standing in one place. It's almost like a comfortable captivity. You know, you're not cut. You're just standing in one place, and you don't see the evils. You know, you're there. You know, you can't move, but you're not consciously aware, right? Or you were not when you were here at the time. Now, though that may be coming to an end, okay, though that may be coming to an end, it looks like it's coming to an end not because it is finished, but because now these swords have been removed and you have to walk into the darkness. You have to walk into the shadow aspects. You have to walk where you don't want to walk, where perhaps you put these swords up for yourself, these fears, insecurities, doubts, to not go in the darkness because you didn't want to. And either now you're more prepared to do that, or you're more willing to do that, or the universe is just shoving you and saying, well, it has to get done. Stop procrastinating, stop delaying this. Whatever this digging is, this darkness is, I cannot say. It's very unique to every person. but it is leading to this. And I've had this card pop up a couple times in readings. It's, what is that on my camera? Do you see that? What is that? Anyways, this is the shattering of illusions. It's not, at least the way it pertains to this reading, Leo, it is not what you think it is, and it never was. That's not to say that you've been fooled or you've been wrong this whole time. No, 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 no. It's just once you work through the shadow aspects that it looks like for some time you have been holding yourself back from doing. This shadow work is really going to shatter some illusions, perspectives you have, which you may not want to have shattered because there's comfort in there, and you may feel powerful. You're used to it. You know, you have a level of control within this perception, and so it didn't feel necessary to dig into the dark corners of your psyche, to dig into your fears or your past traumas, you know, or your childhood, which this card came up as well. I'm going to get into that in a second. It looks like that's where you're kind of moving right now. Whether it's voluntary or not, I don't know. I can't say, but that looks like where you're moving right now. And advice and additional advice, which is these two columns typically. Temperance, which two meanings come to me. One, it will help bring you into a level of equilibrium. So when you work through your fears, your shadows, your negativities, or whatever it is that you know is holding you back, and you know this, Leo, you're just, you have so much pride sometimes, you don't focus on it too much. You just look at it, glance at it quickly, and then put it to the side, which can be a beautiful quality sometimes. But in this case, you know, it may not be. And what temperance is telling me is that, first of all, it'll bring you more into balance. I mean, who better to be a leader of themselves and of others than someone who has been to the dark side, who has seen the shadows and who has worked through them. And as well, it's all part of the bigger picture. There is a big picture that you may not see, and I'm sorry to say, it looks like you've been delaying a little bit. Not a bad delay, not a good delay, just a delay. Again, we all walk our paths on our own rhythm, at our own pace, so it really doesn't matter. But what this is telling me is that that's coming to an end now, and you're going to be going into some darkness. And I don't mean that in a bad way, like you're going to be afraid or you're going to be attacked on, you know, or I just mean you're going to face your shit or you're starting to. And it's really, you're not going to like it, and it's going to shift how you see things. And perhaps, I mean, obviously no one likes it at first. You know, when the top blows off, that's never good. But again, bigger picture, you are part of a flow. Do you see what I'm saying? You're part of the flow of your routines, of the people around you, the flow of your mind, the flow of energy, the flow of the universe. And this is where the flow has led you. I mean, you can only resist for so long. And in additional advice, I have Six of Cups, which in this case represents childhood. For some cases, yes, look into your childhood, but it doesn't necessarily mean you were abused or you had trauma. Look into your childhood as in go to that very, very vulnerable place where you're willing to learn, where you take things at face value. What you see, it's what it is. You don't have preconceived notions. You don't have biases. Just, you know, and it's right below the moon. So when you are doing the shadow work, when you are going into the dark corners that you don't like, that you don't want to go to, when you are experiencing things that you may have been avoiding or didn't want to experience before, look at it like a child. A child knows nothing of the world. They don't know how they can be hurt. They don't know how the world functions. They don't know the systems. They don't know society. They're brand new pretty much, and they their parents tell them one thing, they're like, okay, sure, I'm going to take that info, for what it is. Or they see something and say, okay, well, I have observed this, I'm going to take that info. So when you're doing the shadow work, when you're going into the dark corners of whatever it is that you looks like you have been keeping yourself from doing, go into it in a childlike way. Okay, let's see what I'll discover. Let's work with what I got. I'm not going to be afraid of the shadow aspects of myself. I'm not going to hate them or think they're bad, because it is, after all, a part of myself, and I love myself in my entirety. This is where your pride is going to come in very wonderfully, Leo. I love myself, including my shadow aspects. I love myself regardless of my fears, my doubts, my insecurities, because you know what? We all have it. It's part of the yin and yang. It's part of the balance. I cannot be without my shadow aspect. But part of that pridefulness was, I love myself anyways, regardless of my shadow aspects. Therefore, it's not necessary to look at them because they're going to be there anyways. Well, the time has come that, you know what, you're going to be looking at them. And do go from a very childlike place. Don't go as an intelligent adult. Go from a very heart space, emotional, I don't know what it is, let's check it out and take what I observe kind of place. That will be more helpful for you. Let's see. A part of me really wants to take another card, and something is telling me not to, that this is all you need to hear at the moment. So let's see if anything else comes up. Yeah, it's just reinforced here, the Eight of Swords above the Tower. You have been, I'm just repeating myself, really. This is how I'm seeing it, like this. Okay, so I'm seeing the Eight of Swords above the Tower. You have been, okay, I want to keep this like this to kind of get my point across. You have been doing this to avoid this from happening. See how she's on top of the tower? You're standing on it to keep the roof from blowing off. You're just keeping yourself from any movement to keep the tower in place. Which, again, I'm just repeating myself. So just go in it with a child's heart and, use your pride in a good way this time. It's true, you're going to love yourself regardless. So go in with that knowledge as well. So that's what I have for Leo end of September. I really hope that was helpful. And thank you for tuning in. Bye.